Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our second week of training. So last week we went over a little bit about the basics in the business, where to find the blueprint, who to talk to, how to set up a three-way, just very basic things in the business. So now you have all these conversations going, and what do you do from there, right? We also have the Eric Worre challenge, where it's to get into 100 conversations. And so when I first started this business, I found that I would get lost in either my text messages or um, my Facebook Messenger. Like I'd be scrolling through my Facebook Messenger and my text message to find all the chats that I was in or all the three ways that I was in, and I would get lost in my messages. Does anybody find that they do? Yes, it's a thing. So I created a system, which is amazing. And there's different ways to do it because some people like the computer, like to have work with Google Sheets. I'm super old school and I have two boxes. Okay? I have two boxes. One's for my current customers and one is for my potential customers. You can also do it on a calendar if you like to write it out. But it's all the same system. In my box, in dividers in the inside of the box, and I label the dividers 1 through 31. If you want to do it on a Google sheet or an Excel sheet, you know the tabs at the bottom, you could do 1 through 31 at the bottom. And every single time I start a new conversation, I put it onto an index card. I have the person's name. So it's important to have the person's name, where you connected with them first. So whether it was like a market, whether it was at work, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, you're going to keep the messages in the same spot. You're not going to jump from text messages to Facebook Messenger to, okay? So you have where you started the conversation and then just what you've been chatting about. Like if it's real life, if it's, so this one I have, she has brain fog. We were friends from elementary school. She reached out to me on Facebook. I sent her samples. I have the samples that I sent to her, the date that I sent the samples. The more information, the better. Okay. So everyone goes onto an index card and you're following up with potential customers every 3 days. Your goal is to get them to an absolute yes or an absolute no. So if you're still in conversation, even if they've ghosted you, that's not an absolute no, then they stay in that box. So that's the goal. Every 3 days. So today's the 15th. So let's say I followed up with Katie today. So I'm just going to let Heather in here. Hey, Heath. Okay, so I followed up with Katie today. 3 days from now, she's going to go into the 18th slot. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 18th. I'm going to put her in the 18th. And I know I have to follow up with her in 3 days. But the idea is that if you want to do it with the tabs on Google Sheets or you want to do it on a calendar, the idea is that when you go to work your business, because most of us are working a 9 to 5 job, like we have family, we have jobs, we need to be efficient when we work our business in the pockets of time. The key to this that I found, especially when I was working in government, was okay, I have now 30 minutes to work my business. I'm going to pull out all the index cards for today's date, and I know exactly who I need to follow up with for potential customers. Okay, is that helpful, Amy? I think it just like it really keeps my brain organized because I was getting lost in Messenger. Okay, so for current customers, it's a little different. The thing that's different is the follow-up schedule. Once they're no longer potential, they go into your current. Once you sign them up, they go into your current customers. You want to have a touch point with them weekly for their first month. So the follow-up goes in every 6 days. So it's the same idea. You're going to take them out of potential, that same index card, but you're going to write on it current customer. Usually from Canada, they get their products within 72 hours. Like, it's very fast shipping. So you're going to write down the date they get their products, and you're going to want to talk to them the day that they get their products, and you do the follow-up. I have some people on my team that like to use like a calendar for their follow-up. So they will write the date that the person received their products, and then they know that they need to move that person that they signed up 6 days from that date, and then 6 days from that date, and then 6 days from that date. So you can look at your calendar, and it's just a calendar just for customers to follow up with, because they need to have an amazing customer experience, because your customer retention is what builds your business. If you want them to be seeing results, you want them to be taking their products, you want them to be happy. So the customer follow-up and the customer retention is a very important piece that I learned the hard way in this business. So, does anybody have any questions? Hi, sweet boy. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So Amy, do you have any questions about this system? Is it helpful for you? And then after that, I have more questions.
Yeah, no, it's helpful. I was just thinking today as I was, going through my messages, but it's something to organize myself. So, yeah, definitely very helpful. I find it easier I only have like 3 people, like current customers. So I find it easy to keep track of them and kind of where they are. And had a great chat with someone today about stuff and helped her out. But I'm not great at the getting new customers. It's taken me a long time, and it's just, yeah.
Everybody goes at different speeds in this business, and you're not behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be at the time that you're at that. Like, there's so much to learn, and honestly, it is a personal development journey. The more we personally develop and we do things that scare us, like, the more we build up resiliency to the fears, to the things that we don't want to do, and some are afraid to do. Sorry, but some people are naturally better connectors. When I started this business, I was with a different network marketing company before, and I was petrified. Petrified. I was frozen. I would think of all these things I wanted to do and all these people I wanted to connect with. And for my first 6 months, I was frozen. And I thought people were going to come knocking on my door. I literally thought people were going to come and see my stories and go in my messenger chat and be like, "Oh, Kayla, I want to hear all about Beachbody." Let me tell you, that didn't happen. So yeah, you kind of have to get over it. You have to realize that, like, people don't actually really care as much as we think. They don't think we're crazy. They don't think we're bothering them. That's a belief that we put on ourselves. Like, we're going inward when we think that. But I know it's so natural to think that, like, we're bothering people, or like we're being a pest, or oh, I don't want them to, what are they going to think? Or they're gonna think I'm bothering them. They're not gonna be my friend. What if I see them out at the football field? What are they gonna think of me? You know? So, but okay, so we all have ghosters, or we have these people that we were in conversation with. We've done the follow-up, we're following up. They're reading our messages, or they've completely stopped responding. Has that happened to anybody? Yes. Okay, so you're gonna take a sticky note. Okay, I'm serious. You have to take a sticky note, and you can't have just one sticky note for everybody. It has to have their name on it. And you're gonna write their name. So I'll use Amy. Amy, should I quit trying? And have you seen the blueprint, Amy? The 60-minute blueprint?
I've seen it. I wouldn't say that I know it off by hand. No.
So I would print it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a connection business. The more we're connecting with new people, the more we have a funnel of people to talk to. But it's a really good place to start. If you don't know what to say or what to do, like it's a total roadmap for how to work your business. And it's in 3 steps, and it's in 20-minute increments. But you're literally going to take a picture of yourself with this sticky note, smiling. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. It sounds so crazy. And you're going to send it. And the amount of people and customers I have been able to get on board from this sticky note, I'm telling you, they think it's, people get busy and they're not ghosting you on purpose. I've learned that from the sticky note. So I am so serious. You're going to write their name. You're going to write, should I quit trying? You're going to take a picture and you're going to send it. And you're going to be able to get them to an ultimate yes or an ultimate no. But chances are you're going to get back in conversation with them, and that's the goal. Okay. Paula, I want to hear your follow-up, how you're following up, if you want to share.
Like, do you mean with like people that are on my team, or like
No.
all situations?
Yeah, just people you're talking to.
So pretty simple. I'm a people person, so it's really easy for me. A lot of people that have reached out to me I've had a great conversation with, and then it's dead. They ghost. So I I send them an emoji. So
Yes.
it could be like I'm sitting by the pool and it's beautiful, I'll send a sunshine. Or I'm like, it's first thing in the morning and I'm drinking a drink, I'll send a picture and cheers. So it's just I find that and because I've known these girls, and not only girls as well, men, I'll get to that one. But because I've known them for so long, and some have really reached out from high school that I hadn't talked to in so long. So it was like just little things that almost dig that little piece to get the connection. And then I wait for their response.
And do most of them respond back to you?
Every single one of them have responded. Yeah.
So
but there's also people that have started the program with me, that have joined my team, that have totally ghosted me.
That have ordered the products.
Yep.
Not talking to you.
Yes.
Don't you know they've got the products?
I know they've got the products. One was specifically starting the reset the same day as my husband. All was good. We did a group chat because I love to do group chats with, the people that I have on my team that are doing the reset at the same time. So I'm not sending messages here and here and here and here.
Yes.
I'm sending one message, how are you doing, Sue? How are you doing, John? And it's like, it's all in one. And I find that that's keeping everybody in track. Besides, they're also feeding off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like the reset group I was in when I started, well, I did one for my people.
Yeah.
But the one girl, she's like, yep, I'm ready to go. And then throughout the day, it was like, okay, how are you doing? You know, like you're halfway through, nothing. It was like 4 days later, she messaged me and said, yeah, I stopped on day one.
Did
So,
she did she return the products?
no. So then between Brooke and myself, it was a suggestion. Okay, you have the reset. It doesn't mean you have to start right away. If you're finding that hard, let's try the triplex. Get that into your system. We'll build you up. Then we'll start the reset. Perfect.
And now she's on the products.
Now she ghosted me again.
Um,
And I don't give up. I send a message every single day. How are you doing? How are you finding this? How are you finding that? She reads them.
mm,
So we'll get to that. But anyways, about back to the emojis, like I find just if you know the person, think of something that will make them smile. Think of something that will key factor the interaction between you and them. And that's the way I have. Or I'll just say, for instance, this one girl, I'm like, she messaged me, she's so hardcore, she's into it, and then nothing. So I sent her a message and I'm like, God, you're beautiful today. Like, and then it was like within 20 minutes, she's like, you can't see me. I said, oh, I can see you. And then the conversation started. Well, guess what? She starts her product tomorrow. So
yay!
it's just like those little things. That's what I found.
That's awesome.
Has really
It's
worked.
to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
I did also want to talk to you about um, what I started to do. So at the beginning, for my first 5 months, I was terrible at customer retention. Okay, like it was like I was spinning my tires. I was a really good recruiter, a really good at high volume bringing people on board. And I was literally recycling through customers. So I feel like this is why this is so near and dear to my heart because basically had to rebuild my business. And so the retention piece starts at the sale. And I have started now in the sale to take away the sale if I can't get them to commit to 60 to 90 days. Because I say, you know what, you're going to say the products don't work, or you're going to blame me, or you're going to blame the products, you're going to blame Plexus. Nobody's going to be happy. You're going to quit. And you can't expect miracles in 30 days. Like people see a lot of results in their first few weeks. Like I was one of them. And with the reset, every single time I'm dropping 7 to 9 pounds. Like I love the reset, but it's like the better it gets, the better it gets. And I find that it starts at the sale. The retention starts at the sale. They need to know about the perk points. They need to know about the subscription. They need to know about the free product. They need to know about the 60-day money back guarantee. And you need a commitment. I say I don't work with people that won't commit for 60 to 90 days. And I'll take away the sale. And it has backfired on me one time out of 35 times. So I think we're doing okay now. But I really wanted to stress that to you because it's the planting of the seed from the very beginning. In order for you to have residual income, you don't want to be replacing your customers all the time. And listen, some people won't do a subscription. That's, it is what it is. But setting that groundwork right from the beginning is how you will build residual income in this business. So like I've had one customer, she's 62 years old. She is my most loyal customer. She orders every single month. We change the products in her sub, but I have built that right from the beginning. So I don't know if Heather is listening to me or if she has something else she wants to add. But I know that it can be uncomfortable, but you will get better at it. Just know that it's a customer experience and it starts right from the very beginning, right when we're talking about the products. Okay, so ghosting That's a good tip with the emojis. This is, so Emily Gibson went to the top of the company. She's amazing. She has a coaching program. She's the one who created the 60-minute blueprint. She also created the sticky note. And I for a long time fought that 60-minute blueprint. I also fought the sticky note. I thought it was so cringe and so stupid until it started working. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is actually, they think it's cute. They think it's like it's just a way to get back into conversation. Amy, do you know where the blueprint is?
Maybe. I could probably go through all the messages and find it, but
So
I could,
so on the first training, I showed where it was. So if you go to the Made for More team chat and you go up to the very top where it says Made for More, you click on it, you go to the file section, and
okay,
it's under Spark Week.
okay, yep.
And it says step 1, step 2, step 3. Most people who use it print it out and you just follow it. And it literally tells you exactly what to do. So I set a timer on my phone for the first 20 minutes. I do the action items. The timer goes off. I move to step 2. If I don't have any more time to work my business, at least I know I've done 40 minutes or I've done 20 minutes. It's just a guide. And
Okay.
it's really helpful, because it gets you into Facebook groups and it gets you into connecting and it gets you posting without worrying about what you're posting, like just getting something up, getting to get likes, getting into conversation. So I highly suggest, if you haven't seen it, to take a look at it, because I think it'll give you a really good guide, Amy. If your block is connecting with people because it feels vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily connecting with people. I'm a pretty private person. It's the
Yeah.
posting, right? So I'm not a big selfie person. I don't like to put my face all over social media. That's just me. And I so far, like I said, I only have 3 people, but I have great retention. Like the 3 people so far have been, ordering consistently. They're very happy with the products,
Amazing.
which is great.
That's a huge
Um,
win.
I don't have a lot of people ghost me typically. Actually, I don't think anybody's ghost me. I get to the hard no. And Heather and I have talked about this, and a lot of the time the hard no comes because of cost, right? It's too expensive. They can't afford it, and trying to negotiate that. But you can only, I don't want to say push so long when it comes down to finances, right? When someone tells you they can't afford something because of X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to push on that. And that's just me. I'm not, I'll circle back to them a while later, but if I get a hard no, I can't afford this because of finances, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna push that. I won't. That's kind of outside of my comfort zone. Because if someone was pushing me because on the dollars and cents of it, I would back away. So that's, I just feel like even, well, Heather will know, I watched everything for a while before I even ventured into the product. So I allow people that time and that grace. And some people have come back to me and, now they're a customer. So I just, yeah, it's just the approach, what I feel, I have to follow what feels comfortable to me. So,
Yeah, it does have to feel like a safe business for sure. We have to do what's safe and what feels safe to us. One thing I do know is everybody has an objection, and 99% of the time it's price because of value. If they see enough value, if you've connected enough about the products, if you can get to their pain point of what they're struggling and you can find a solution to their struggle, they will purchase. I've,
when someone tells you they're fighting cancer and they can't afford this because they're not working, or they're going through a divorce and they can't afford it, those are things that I'm not going to start to push on. I can't. and I won't. So, and that's okay with me. That's okay if I don't have customers join at that time, because I planted the seeds, I've given them products, and when they're ready, they'll come back to me.
So if there's I've had a divorce situation where I've actually got her as an ambassador on my team. She was going through a very bad divorce and couldn't afford the products. And I got her sharing before she even purchased and was able to go silver and make money. And, there's certain situations. So anyways, I'll leave it at that for that. Okay, does anybody have any questions about retention, follow-up, posting? How's it going for everybody? No, nothing. Okay. How are you finding the silver chat? Are the prompts helping you get into action?
I think
Yes and no.
What? Sorry.
I said I think the chats are great.
Okay. I find
They're
you take what you can out of them. I will say I find the tasks really awesome to get me into action. So, but everyone works differently. Is there any roadblocks that I can help any one of you work through, or something that they're finding that's blocking them or they need help with?
More for me, it's just finding time like between work and home. But I'm working on it. It's normal. Everybody goes through it. Like I have a really busy job. I've had a job. It's okay. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure that part out.
A really busy job, grandbabies, life.
Oh,
It's a
one
lot.
it is a
I
lot.
hear
One
you.
on the way. We're trying to figure that out, organizing that, and it is busy. Like my job doesn't end at the office, right? Like I come home and there's nights where I go in my office here and work till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. It comes with the job. I'm okay with that. So it's like going in between figuring
Pocket.
it out, like today I worked from home. I had a half an hour. So, like I went on, I posted a couple things, then I got to go back to I got to go to work again. So it's just like they said, when you have the time, make it that time. And that's kind of where I'm at. I have OCD. So
Time
it's like,
blocking is so important. It's so important. And one thing I will say, that Heather used to tell me when I was working and when she was working, because it's very recent that we've left our careers to work Plexus full time, was be present where you are. If you are at work, be at work. If you are with your grandbabies in the pool, be present with your grandbabies in the pool. If you are working on your business for that 30 minutes, be present working on your business, but always be present where your feet are. That is the best and most important advice I could give to anybody working this business. Be present where you are, because it's just so important for balance. Okay, I'm gonna end the recording. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll see you next week.